There is one word that is used liberally to describe women, yet we women dread it, and that is multitasking. So everyone tells us, please do it, anyway you're very good at it, and then we are, having the task. Another one is managing. So we are managing this, managing that, managing everything, sometimes managing more than one thing. How does a woman do this and enjoy it too? Our guest speakers will share their take on the above and give us some guidelines on how we can do it all and still look good and stay sane at the end of it. Our first guest of honor sharing her thoughts with us will be Mrs. Arundhati Raja. She is the artistic director of Jagrati, a performing arts center in Whitefield, one of my favorite theatres in Bangalore. Arundhati and Jagdish Raja founded Jagrati in 2011 with a belief in the implicit power of performance to transport an audience to different worlds and creating unforgettable experiences, which they are successfully doing. Arundhati, who earned her BSc Honours from the University of Birmingham, is also a social worker, entrepreneur, actor, teacher, and much, much more. She worked as a research assistant at the London School of Pharmacy until her return to India in 1972. She began her teaching career at the Sheila Kotwala School for the Deaf and then went on to be a member of the founding group of teachers of Malya Aditi International School. She now conducts drama and art workshops for all age groups. Arundhati made her debut on the Bangalore stage in 1977 and has since played various roles. She premiered Girish Karnad's one-woman play, A Heap of Broken Images. So clearly a role model herself and a woman of many parts. I now call upon Mrs. Arundhati Raja to make a presentation to us.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to listen to all these descriptions of things that you've done. I thought a lot about what I would say, because obviously all you women are empowered. You all do many good things in your lives. You're entrepreneurs and you do a lot of social work, much more than I do, by the way. I haven't been doing much social work recently because, frankly, the theatre's kind of taken our lives to get it built, and now it takes our lives to keep it going. But we are doing what we wanted to do. And I just wanted to say that I do believe that we always say that I'm really lucky, because although I did this physiology degree and did all the things that was expected of a good Indian girl coming from a medical family, what I always wanted to do was drama. So I think I'm very lucky that I've ended up being able to do what I always wanted to do. And know that, I'm sorry, I have a really bad throat, so not always, people don't always get that opportunity or that chance. So I was, yeah, we can just, thank you. We could just keep it there. So yeah, so I thought, what on earth am I going to say to all these ladies? Because you know what you can do. Yes, we can all multitask and we can all manage and we do all these things. And quite honestly, I wouldn't begin to know how to tell all of you how you should do it or how you should go about it, because I think everyone's lives are different. And whatever we may say, that our lives are kind of in many ways dictated to us by the family that we have. You know, whether you have your own children or not, or whether you still have your parents around. And particularly in India, whatever we may want to do with our lives, with our work, with everything, the family does play a huge part and often doesn't allow us to be able to just let go and do what we would like to do often. So I thought everybody's handling all this. Yeah, we've got this great digital age. We have all these things at our disposal, these gadgets, the mobiles. Well, it's kind of come from no computers to from desktops to laptops and now everybody's onto mobiles. Like your life is controlled by your mobile. And so what has happened is that everything has come down to this level of, it's quick. The quicker and the sooner we can do things in our lives, the better it is. Because the sooner I can get this job finished, it's going to go off, and the sooner I can do that and I can get home and I can spend some time with the family, the sooner I can do that, I'll get down to the work that I have to do. That was, as the cliche is, should have been in yesterday. And this is, I think, to me, the biggest problem that everybody is going to face. And I say that most of you are obviously a generation, you're much younger than I am, and you're coping and will cope with all this that is happening. And I think that is the problem that is going to be. The fact that you have everything at your fingertips and you can do everything in this shorter time means that our relationships, talking to people personally, face to face, actually talking to a person, goes down. It's, oh, you know, I've got this to do, so I'll shoot off this email, all right, or I'll send a text, or now we don't even send texts. I was talking to Saras, we WhatsApp, right? So immediate, you get that picture now, and it's down at all levels of society. So what is this doing, apart from the stress level? It's also cutting down on, I believe, and the biggest problem is on what I call curiosity. I see this because we have, what, nearly 100 kids that come through our drama training program. And most of them are really sort of my well, I mean, some of them are older, but they're kind of grandchildren age. So the parents who are coming are the age of the children that I taught when I was there. And I can see some of them whom I've known and I have taught, and who were these really competent, thinking children who've come on to become these wonderful adults, multitasking, doing all these things, but who are highly stressed. And in this, we're dealing with it all the time, because when we go into corporates and we do training, and not training in the normal through management things, we will use theater always. Always, everything that we might do. And I can see the levels of stress. And everybody is saying, oh, it comes down to this time. And when I say there's no time for curiosity, it is simply that. And it comes to the children, because we now have this big oracle, Google, right? All you have to do is key. You don't even have to type in the whole sentence. In some cases, you don't even have to type in the whole word. You can write, say, 2 letters, and boom, you've got anything you need. I, as a child, what did I do? We used to go to the library, had this encyclopedia, which you used to love. You had to know your alphabet. You had to know things in alphabetical order, because you had to know how to open it and look through. You had to know how to look at a dictionary. And often, the curiosity comes in. You're going to that book to look up something that you've been asked to look up. But boy, on the way, there's a whole lot of other interesting stuff in that encyclopedia, which you may not even have bothered about, but you see it in the book. You don't see it when you type into the oracle, as I keep calling it, because everything is there at your fingertips. Every time now when I say about curiosity, this is why people don't talk so much. Right? If you don't have things to discuss and say, look, did you see this? What do you think about that? It's gone. You don't have this kind of personal interaction. Why do we get so annoyed with drivers? You fix a driver or a taxi, and they'll call you. You've given the address, the directions are there, they most probably have navsat there, yet you've still got 3 calls from them. Huh? Yellow madam, where are you? You know, all this comes, and I get so annoyed. And then you think they can't be bothered. Because they can get anybody they want at the end of a phone, a mobile phone. So it doesn't matter if I look, I don't need to look at the street signs. I don't need to look for the tall building I've told them about. I can just call. Yeah? So why I'm saying all this is because I want to point out the negative side, which I know that we all may know about, but I'm saying this more because if you have these children now are the next generation. And I'm talking now about urban kids, because I'm not working so much with non-urban children. Theirs is, of course, a whole different area of problems and things that we might have to deal with. And the thing is there that those of you, you've done so much work, I know, because I read the email that Rati had sent me. And you've done so much work across, from grassroots to middle to senior management. A lot of those areas of work that you're doing, you're having to work with people. You don't really have necessarily the direct power, right? You might be working with a government agencies that are handling those people. You're trying to work with, say, an educational system at that level where teachers don't come because they don't have whatever. They don't have the facilities and things. So doing things directly, I'm not saying that you can't, and you do, it's a problem. And sometimes the solutions don't lie in your hands because you have to deal with people in whose hands the actual solutions are. But for our children, and my grandchildren, it lies in our hands. It lies in our hands. And I just want to give you some examples. I'm sorry, I'm being the negative side here because I don't think you need to know. I need to tell you what are the great, marvelous things that the digital age has done. I'm all for it. I love it. And people expect, younger than me, wonder why, how do you do all this? Do you love the computer? I said, I love the computer. I love all these things. So, I'll give you an example. We have some kids. We try very hard with our kids who come for drama training. They must read. We make them read. And when they're looking at scripts, say of a play that we're discussing with them, they'll be told, if you don't have this particular one, we give them copies, or if they don't, we say you can try and buy it, especially if there's things like, say, Roald Dahl, or a play that's been published. We get parents, that is, ladies, either your peers or your whatever, calling and saying, but I can download something on the iPad. I can get it on the Kindle, so why do I need to buy it? So we say, you do need to get the book. We want the children to handle the paper, to look at the cover of the book, to sort of flip to the back and read what's written there, to flick through and look at some pages there. And if you're a good reader, you mostly, or if you read a lot, you probably don't look at the end of the story, but you might. It's that excitement. These children must have it. Yeah? Most of the parents say, oh, all right, I'll get it. Give me the weekend. So I said, no, go get it online if you need to. You'll have time for that. So I'm just giving you this. It's because everybody is in this situation where they don't have time. And if you don't have time to give for your children, you're going to have problems to deal with them. Yeah? It's so much easier. When TV arrived, I'm going back a little bit. When TV arrived, because I grew up when there was no TV, and I remember when it came and it was the big exciting thing. And then we got where, parents are just sticking the children in front of the TV. They have to go out and they have to go out and play. Luckily, our generation, we still did do that. Yeah? And then it's become now, it's easier. You may say, no, but I'm controlling what my children are watching on computers. I have parental control. But what are they doing? They're still staring at a screen the whole day, or whatever. Not necessarily the whole day. And I do find it's great because I find in our apartment building, the kids are out at play and they work, that they do go out and play around outside and they come in. But I can see children that come into our drama program who have these problems. I should tell you that there was one child who said, but I don't have a book at home. So we didn't believe him. Right? So Rebecca, who's the teacher who was his facilitator, she called his mum and she said, well, no, he doesn't have a book, but he's got the iPad and I haven't got him a Kindle yet, but if you like, I could get him that. And he did not have a book. Right? I'm giving you this as an example of things that can happen. And so, of course, we worked with him and he got the book and he was thrilled. He said, oh wow, this is really good. It's not like my school book. To that child, a book was his school books, his textbooks. But when he got a storybook in his hand, it was, wow, you could see the spark of curiosity was back in his eyes. And that's what I kind of wanted to point out, that in our progress, and we're going to get AI, artificial intelligence, there's going to be robotics, all sorts. But maybe all of you could just think about this a little and see how you might try and temper this, maybe even with yourselves. Because why are we, am I running over time? Because if I go on, do stop. There's another thing of where, you have parents, both, there's a family, both are working very hard, both very competent. And then you have a child. And what you do, because as a mother, as women, we have this guilt, right? I'm not spending enough time with my child, and that stresses you even more. And there are in some daycare centers babies as young as a month and 2 months old who are left the whole day in the daycare center. And obviously when the mom comes in, I've seen this, the baby doesn't want to go to the mother because the baby doesn't see the mother enough, and then she gets upset about that, and that becomes an added situation. I have no solutions. I really don't. Because I think it is wonderful that women have now the ability and the opportunities to go ahead, to be independent, and to be economically independent, apart from being able to work and use your mental capacity in a way other than being a wife and a mother at home, and sometimes talking to children the whole day. You think, oh God, did I ever have an adult conversation? Because you keep talking to these children in this way. So I can't give the solution for that. I do think that, I just want to say, when I say this lack of curiosity and spark, that think, what is happening? And not just for the child. Have you lost your curiosity in life? What's going on? Is all you're doing worried about your business or what's happening in front of your other work? Are you just worrying about, oh God, I am not spending enough time with the family? All I can say is that since we women are multitaskers, we are excellent at it, that I think this is the one problem that we should look at and try and multitask that into our lives so that, we have less stress and maybe bring in children into this world who really appreciate human conversations and not just over a computer screen or a text or a WhatsApp. Yeah? So, but honestly, I've read what you've been doing, not just Vicky, I mean Flo. I think it's great the work you've been doing, so keep at it. But don't forget our urban kids either, the kids who are under your care. You can do something about them personally. There's no power person in between. There's only you. So, okay, thank you.